Hi class, in this video we're going to go over number 3 in your chapter 10 homework. So the effect of a negative externality on the optimum quantity of consumption. So consider the market of paper. Suppose the paper factory dump toxic waste into a nearby river, creating negative externality for those living downstream from the factory. Producing an additional ton of paper impose a constant external cost of $175 per ton. The following graph shows the demand private value curve and the supply private cost curve for paper. All right, so whenever you're dealing with this negative externality, this is always something bad. So imagine any type of pollution, those will be negative externality. So besides the consumer and the producer for paper, somebody else is also paying additional cost that whenever this paper transaction happens. So for in this case over here, for people who are living downstream of the paper, their water supply is getting, damaged or worsened. So those people who live downstream might need to pay more money to get their water purified. And imagine those extra costs to purify the water is going to be $175 for every ton of paper the company produce. All right, so first we need to use the purple points to plot the social cost curve with additional cost of $175 per ton. So we're going to take our your social cost curve will be on top of your private cost curve by exactly $175 at every quantity of production. So for the first one, let's go from the quantity of 1. Your cost is 25. So 25 plus 175, that should be 200. That's your first point. Second point, right here at the bottom here is 75. So 75 plus 175 is 250.2. And then point 3, this is 175 plus 175 is 350. And then point 4 is right here, so 225 plus 175 is 400. And then 275 plus 175 is 450. Last one we have 325 plus 175, it should be 500. All right, so those are the 5 points. So the market equilibrium quantity is where? The market equilibrium quantity, this will be between your private supply curve and then the private demand curve. So the original supply demand curve, this intersection in the middle, so the quantity of 3.5, that is our private quantity. But a socially desired output, so once you factor in all the additional costs that this paper supply has occurred in the economy, then maybe we shouldn't produce that many paper anymore. So as a society, your socially desired output is between your social supply curve, so the purple line, and then your demand curve for the market, so the blue line. So our socially optimum quantity should be right here in the intersection, so that should be a 2.5 ton. All right, so to create this incentive for firms to produce a socially optimum quantity of paper, government should do what? So if the market is left by itself with no government intervention, the company will choose the production on the orange line. So to produce a quantity of 3.5. That's already producing our paper. We don't want that many because the more paper they're producing, the more pollution we have. So there must be something government can do to incentivize the company to produce less paper. So one thing we can do is to impose a tax on it. So this part you guys must remember that anytime you have a negative externality, the government should use a tax to fix it. But if anytime there's a positive externality, so something good, then government should use a subsidy. So subsidy is like a negative tax. So instead of taking money away from people, subsidy is giving money to people. But in this case here, we have a pollution. We want to produce less paper, so we're going to tax the companies. And the tax should be exactly the external cost, so $175. That's the answer. Okay, so let's grade it now. Okay, we got everything right. Okay, so guys, that's how you do number 3 on your chapter 10 homework. All right, have any question, let me know. See you later. Bye-bye.